Now, we did pay a lot of money for this. I gave 7,000 quid for this car. I'm nervous. Oh my word. Right, before we get into today's video, just want to talk to you about the spring raffle. The new raffle has landed here on the Car UK channel, and you can get involved in this new raffle for just £1. Now, we've got a couple of great prizes up for grabs in this raffle, including this, what I'm sitting in now, a 1991 first generation Nissan Micra K10. The small reliable car that changed the market in the 1980s with its simplisticness and its superb reliability. This lovely example has only done 78,000 miles, and we actually purchased it from a classic car auction just a few months ago. It's got stacks of history, it's been in the same family for many, many years. It's a really nice, honest, practical classic, and can be yours for just literally £1. But also as well, you will get a £1,000 bonus prize as well. So not only will you get the car, but you'll also get £1,000 in cash too. Now, if four wheels doesn't interest you, well, you're in luck, because we've got a two-wheel option as well in this fantastic Suzuki 600 Bandit S. This lovely, honest example has got 20,000 miles on the clock and runs like a dream. And again, a motorcycle that represented absolute superb reliability. The bike will come fully serviced and MOT'd as well. But not only will you win the motorcycle, but you also get £1,000 in cash as well. And if you don't want any of those two options, well, you can just have £2,000 in cash as an alternative prize. So our three main prizes to be had there: the Nissan Micra K10 with £1,000, you can have the Suzuki Bandit 600S, again with £1,000, or you can have £2,000 in cash. They are your three prize choices for this spring raffle, and it is just £1 to get involved. There are also some sub prizes to be won, such as diagnostic machine and jump packs. Now, to get involved in this spring raffle for just £1, you need to get yourself in the link description. There you'll find bundle offers available as well, so you can just buy one ticket for £1, but if you buy more tickets, you'll get lots of additional free tickets. In fact, you can see the bundle offers on screen now. The more tickets you buy, the more free tickets you'll get, giving you even more chance to win. And remember, those free tickets are worth just as much as a paid ticket. But no matter how many tickets you buy, you will also be helping out charity on the back of it. We've already given away thousands and thousands of pounds to charities in our last draw, and we'd love to do the same again. So if you're able to get involved by getting in that link description, and hopefully you'll be able to win one of these fantastic prizes. So get yourself over to Raffle, guaranteed prizes, get in the link description, click on that link and get yourself over there today. Even all, welcome back to the Car UK channel. Right, in today's video, we're going to have a quick look and tour around at my latest purchase, a classic car purchase that we got from Angular Car Auctions just the other week, which is this superb, stunning 1983 Mk1 Ford Fiesta. Now, I was super impressed when we saw this at the auction. It looked immaculate, and it did drive back actually very, very well. I'll let you into a little secret early on. However, I have been a bit worried since we picked it up that does the outside reflect that underneath, because it could look absolutely amazing on the outside, and in fact it does, but is it like that underneath? Are we going to find any shock or horrors? Because I have paid quite a lot of money for this car. I've actually paid in excess of £7,000 for this little piece of history, and I'll be absolutely gutted if we get underneath and it turns out that it's an absolute kipper. So the best thing to do is to go have a proper look around it. I'll show you around the car on the outside first, go for a quick drive, and then we'll go get it on one of our ramps and see what it's like underneath. Let's see if this car stands up to the test. And here it is, back on site. The 1983 wire edge, old wire edge, Mk1 Fiesta, 11L Valencia. Quite a late one actually on a Y, because I think that's the last year of production. I think 83, 84 was the Mark II started. Would have had 55 brake horsepower from new, that, the 11L Valencia engine, which actually at the time would have been more than enough. You still got cars that are traipsing around in 30, 40 brake horsepower back then. So to have a 55 brake horsepower for a 1.1 of a car that probably didn't weigh that lot either was more than enough. It's got 40,000 miles on it. It's come from a bereaved estate. It's had two keepers since new, two owners. And it'd be fair to say, it looks like to me, it's been garaged. We've only sort of peeked under it, sort of what we can see under the sill. We've not had it up in the air or anything like that. We're going to do that later, because you never know in an old car. You can have a car that looks lovely on the outside and it can be an absolute horror underneath. I've seen a few of those go through auctions. In fact, just the other day when we actually went to buy this, there was a few cars in there, some Fords. One of them that stuck out to me was an RS Turbo Escort, and that was a really nice car on the body, nice white thing, looked a lovely car, but underneath it was an absolute bag of horrors. If you look closely, it was rotten as a kipper. So you just never know. We've popped under this, we can't see anything wrong with it, but until we get it up in the air, we're not going to know how good or how bad it is. Now, from the outside, which we can do a view on it, you can see, which is what's given me
hope here that we've actually really bought a really nice example. It's just in astonishing condition. There's really little to pick up on this. There's a little bit of crap at the bottom there, that's just mud. There's no rot on it at all. I can't find any rust spots anywhere on the car, with the exception of the wing mirrors, which are not actually obviously detached. They're probably original iron mirrors. I'm going to have them painted. Sod it, I'm going to have them painted. And what's a couple of old iron wing mirrors to paint? That's nothing. We've got nothing on the body. I can't even see anywhere where it's been painted. And it probably has been painted somewhere, but if it has, I can't spot it. And it probably must have been the most minute of areas, because there's nothing standing out. And I've got quite an eye for this sort of stuff. Seeing paint and stuff, being in this job, you see it every day. And you know, there's good paint and bad paint. But I look around it now, it looks as honest as the day it was new. There was nothing to it. It's a really nice thing. All the bumpers are nice and straight as well. The wheels aren't too bad either. I'll probably just leave them, to be honest with you. I don't think we need to start messing around with those. Cross-ply tyres on it. Look at them, cross-ply tyres. Don't see them anymore. It's just a nice straight car. Really nice straight car. Now, we did pay a lot of money for this. I gave 7,000 quid for this car. When that hammer went down, I won't lie to you, my arse was switching, because, well, the last car we bought was a Mini. I think we paid about 5.5 grand for that, and I was nervous then. So to pay even more for this, I say there was some nerves. However, that aside, I don't think, well, no, we can't lose the money on it. You cannot lose your money on something like this. And I'll talk more about that later on, about why I've bought it, because there is a couple of options I could do with this. But like I said, we'll go back to that later on, because I want to check it all underneath first, because that is the most important. Let's have a look inside it first. The old Fez Bomb or Fiesta. Now, I've not cleaned it. I've left it completely as it was when we picked it up. It's really nice inside. Obviously, it wants a valet now because I've had my mucky boots in it. Carpet's all original, as you can see. The seats, look at the seats. Beautiful. So comfy. I've obviously driven this back, and I also have driven, got a Nissan MICRA. It's down the back there, but you can see it here. It's the one, obviously, we're raffling off at the moment. I tell you what, I'm going to put it out there. Disagree with me if you want. Older cars are nicer to sit in, as in more comfy the seats are than modern vehicles. I'm sorry, that's what I'm saying now. I'm throwing that down. Tell me otherwise, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of modern cars that are nice and comfy, but your average sort of, if I went and jumped in an equivalent this today, like a VW Up or something like that, or a modern Fiesta, I guarantee you the seats are not as comfy as in this. And the same with the MICRA as well. Just looks like sitting on a sofa. Let's say, look at the back of it. Nice and straight, look like it's never been sat in. No seat belts. Wasn't obviously legislation back then for seat belts. People before, it was 1984, didn't die in rear seat accidents or anything like that, so seat belts weren't required. Now, in the front, as you can see, the one thing that does let this car down, and it is the only thing that I have found so far that's let it down, is the steering wheel. It's a bit edgy. The sensor's actually quite good. If you look inside, that's all nice with the Ford badge on, but this is all horrible. I was going to get refurbed, but I thought I'd better have a look online first and see if we can find something. And I did. Found this, which is a lot nicer. But this, I mean, the Ford badge has got a little tiny bit of lack appeal on it. So I'm going to take this one, this centre, and put it on that centre and use that steering wheel. So it still looks honest and genuine. Obviously, it's not the original one. We'll put the original one in the boot just in case there is someone who one day wants the original steering wheel for whatever reason. But yeah, that is a far better looking, attractive, more steering wheel. And that was really difficult to find, by the way. It wasn't expensive. It was about, I think the guy wanted about 60 quid for it or something like that. But my word, he should have asked for more because I'd have paid it, because it was the only one I could find. Anyway, moving on from that aside, the rest of the dash, as you can see, is beautiful. I had a few issues with the radio, but I've now worked out you have to put the aerial up, obviously forgetting it just hasn't got an electric aerial. But other than that, everything's perfect. There's no electric windows, we've got no anti-lock brakes, we've got no traction control, hasn't even got a cigarette lighter. But you know what? You don't need any of that, because all you need is an engine that will get you from A to B. Start and go. Let's see if she fires up. Now these Fords, and I'm not a big Ford person by any means, but the one thing I do remember is they're quite good at starting. A lot of these didn't have chokes. I think this one hasn't got a manual choke. It's basically like a vacuum start. So you basically just put your foot down on the throttle pedal, turn the keys, you let go, and she's away. We haven't got to have rev counters or anything, but you have got the fuel economy LEDs. So you have to change up when it goes from amber to red, which is, well, very 80s. And then two other gauges, which consist of the fuel, which has got quite a lot of titty in it, and a temperature gauge, which sits right where it should do. Other than that, you've got nothing else to look on the screen other than a couple of warning lights, including your battery, your oil pressure, and some gears. You've got 3 plus E. So you've got 4 gears, 3 plus economy. But that's all you need in an old car like this. Let's pop the bonnet. Like I said, I've not touched this since the auction. Oh, look at that there. There she is. 1-1 Valencia. Let's go around the other side. You look in here now, you can just see how honest and straight this car is. Bear in mind, this car is what, 1983, so it is, what, 43 years old. And look how straight it is. Solid as a rock. All down the back here, you would see corrosion, rust coming through with a car this age. And you know what? You'd expect it. Old cars do rust and rot. I mean, they used to rot from 4 or 5 years old from the factory. So to see one in this good condition is just amazing. They've put a new battery on. It's been stood for years, this car. So, say, new battery on there. We've got a little bit of leakage there. I don't think the actual radiator's leaking. It's the pipe that goes into it. So we'll take that off and we'll have a look at that. I'm sure we can get hold of a radiator, or if need be, we can recore it, if worst case. But it doesn't look like it's leaking so much. It's more just the pipes going to it. It's been stood. Probably got oil coolant in it. It's going to all need servicing. In fact, I can see an oil filter down there, which doesn't look that old, but obviously we'll change it all. So we're going to do all that and smart it all up. The good thing about this is it's so simplistic. I mean, this is even more simplistic to work on than that Mini, because Minis can be a little bit troublesome. But these, absolute doddle. So we'll put a full service kit on it, points, distributor, we'll do the whole lot and get it all tip top again. So every time I want to use it, she's ready to roll. So there we are, really, really straight car as well. It's like, I can't find any corrosion on it whatsoever. You can see that from the things like the fuel cap here, they used to go down here, all nice and solid. The boot floor, obviously we haven't checked the boot floor out, let's have a look in here. I think we might need some new boot struts. In fact, we do need some new boot struts, that's another thing we need to order. But they're easy to get hold of. Don't want this clunking on my head, so hold on a minute. There we go, pulled up the cardboard for you, but look at that floor pan. That's where you'd find signs of horrors on a car of this age. There's only in the boot floor areas, stuff like that. Absolutely solid as a rock. Let's just say it just goes all the way around as well. Look at the shuts on it everywhere. It's just immaculate, immaculate condition. No signs of overspray or, you know, previous paintwork. There's nothing. It's just lovely. Lips on the boot. You might expect a little bit on here, you know, on the lip of the boot. But there's nothing, no bumps, no rust coming through. It's as straight as anything. Number plate, let's talk about that. Now, I didn't actually realise the number plate says what it says on it when I was buying it. Someone mentioned it actually in the comments of the video the other day. And then, actually when you go back at it and look at it, I thought, oh my God. Yeah, it does say that word, doesn't it? So, I'm not sure what to do with that, to be honest. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You could probably think that it might be worth some money, because anything that spells words is usually worth money. But would someone actually want to put that on the car? Would someone want to actually pay cash for that and put it on a car? Maybe if they were a porn star on OnlyFans, maybe they might do that, I don't know. Obviously I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. I'm leaning towards keeping this, if I'm honest with you, as I'll explain more later on. But I might take that number plate off, because for the sake of, I'm assuming I can take it off, for 80 quid, it will take to take the plate off and put it on something a little bit more sort of normal, should we say. We might be able to do something with the number plate, and if we do, then great. And at least someone hasn't got to go around with the word pussy written on the car. Right, if we're going to go for a drive in a minute, before we do that, quickly go through the paperwork with this. There's rucks of paperwork as well, just to see what its provenance is like. I don't know if you can quite hear this. I'm just going to shut up for a second. Can you hear that? That is the tick of the seconds of the Ford Fiesta quartz clock. Beautiful. That's all I can hear in the background. No birds in the background, no cars, just the little quartz clock. Love it. Right, anyway, paperwork. So, like I said, this has been off the road for many, many years. Come from a bereaved estate, and it's got quite a lot of paperwork with it, including, look at these things. I haven't seen these in years. The old test certificates. Now, these are quite fun, because especially when you get someone who keeps all the old ones, and you see the transformation of the test certificates, because they change them every few years, basically mainly for fraud really, and just updating stuff on them. But yeah, it's full of them, of the test certificates. And then obviously we move on to the later ones in the 90s. And then we move to these ones, remember them? The green ones, they were a pain in the arse. These were just phased out when I started testing, but obviously I was buying and selling before then, so I used to be in garages and see these being used all the time. They got rid of them because they were an absolute fortune. The DVLA brought in this brilliant system where they give you one green one, and then they give you a red for a fail, a A4, and then a yellow one, which was the advisories. But what people used to do is throw the yellow one away and just give you the green one, because obviously prior to that we just had test certificates like that where they had no advisories on. The advisory sheet was separate again, and people used to throw them away. But it was costing Bosun an absolute fortune for these to send out to garages. So in the end they did away with them and went all online with them, and you used to print them off. And that's where you get those later test certificates that we see today, though they have changed slightly. But we haven't got any modern test certificates because, I say, this has been tested up until, what, 2009 there. I think it's been off the road pretty much since then. I don't think there's anything else in here to show otherwise. We've got the invoice here, we paid for it, £7,000. And then a bit of indemnity on top of it. A little bit of VAT as well, which I'm not too happy about. Some other interesting things. Even though the car must have been on the road after 2009, so maybe just haven't got the tickets from that point. It had a clutch in 2011. It was on, how many miles was it on here? 37-ish thousand miles. So how many miles has the clutch done? About 6,000 miles the clutch is done. And it cost them £211 and 15 pence, of which 35 quid of it was VAT. So they charged them £99 to put a clutch in it in 2011. I think that's still cheap for a garage, even then. And it was in Essex as well, which is, that's really cheap. Logbook. Here we are, KPU 655Y, or the pussy magnet as we now call it. One former keeper, declared new at registration, and, I can't give you the details away because of silly laws, but I'll cover that up. It says there, declared new at first registration, no notes on it. So that would mean, to me, that we can remove a number plate on it, which I think, to be honest with you, I think would be the right thing to do. We've got the original Ford service plan book. Oh, look at this. We've got stamps in there as well. Lots of things in there. Actually, that's a little interesting read. And that's original as well. That's a really nice touch. Now, this is what I love here. These things, they're old bills like this. Now, look, these have been blanked out, so I can show you these. And what's quite funny about this is that these go back from like the early 80s. So this is like 1986. And there's a few invoices from the same garage year on year for the same work being carried out. And what's quite funny, one is the pricing. Let's move that camera up a bit. And also how much it seems to go up every year. So this one is an MOT, 24 quid in 1986. Engine oil, £5.40, and the oil filter, £3.12. I thought oil filter is about the same price you pay for one today. Oil isn't, though. Oil's a lot dearer than that, and the MOT is. VAT, £4.88, that was 12%, roughly, isn't that? And also the MOT, sorry, I take it back. The service was £24. The engine oil was £5.40. The oil filter was £3.12, £32.52 plus VAT, £4.88. Made it £48.10 once you've thrown in the MOT test, £10.70 for an MOT per test from this garage in Colchester in Essex in 1986. Unbelievable. Lady paid cash though, very good of her. Next year, exactly the same work being carried out, but it's gone up. See, times are hard. It's now getting hard in 87. That was the year I was born. £53.42 the following year. He put his MOT up £1 as well. Greedy git. When he had to put he's put consumables on there as well. 63 pence. Grabbing. And there's just loads of them like that. Going next year, £56.14, £66.19 in 1989. Things are going out. Oh, £68 in 1990. That's the poll tax hitting. And in 1991, disaster. £140.69 new pence. He's had to have, or she's had to have a full service, including plugs on it, so new points and contacts in it, and also a new exhaust, £38.50. But I love stuff like that. But just stacks and stacks of old bills for this car, going all the way up to, here we go, this one is a bit more modern, 2010. There's a book of invoices there for this. So, strip and clean brakes, service carried out, all sorts. Oh, just lovely. Love it. Brown envelope there. That's probably what that's all the stuff was in from the auction. And a couple of old MOTs. And of course, tax disc. The last tax disc probably ever put on the car. I can't seem to find anything after 2011 of this being on the road. So, in fact, there's a last test certificate there, 2011. So there we go. And 125 quid it was. But now, absolutely zero. Free. You don't need any tax on this at all. You can drive this tax-free, anywhere you like in the country. Don't have to give the government a shilling. Right, anyway, we're going to go for a quick drive in this. I'm only literally going to go around the block in that because I've actually driven this all the way back from Kings Lynn. He didn't miss a beat. He drove really, really well. Go for a quick drive. I'm going to get it on the ramp then. I'll have a proper look underneath it. Make sure she's as good underneath as she is on top, because if she isn't, we're in trouble. Let's go for a quick drive anyway. Never in doubt. Right, off we go on a little 1.1 Fiesta. I'd say I drove this for, well, 3 hours or more back from Kings Lynn, over the bumps there, no knocks or bangs. And it didn't miss a beat, to be honest with you. I'd probably say it could do with a service. It's probably been laid up for, what, 6 years I think it's been laid up for in a garage, if not more. So, yeah, it's definitely going to need a service, and we'll get onto that probably next week, to be fair. Because there's just a very, very, very slight hesitation sometimes when you floor it. And actually, as well, I did notice on the way back, when we were driving it, It was a little bit lumpy at first, seemed to clear, but when we put some fresh petrol in it, because it had actually had half a tank of fuel in it, we put some more fresh fuel in it when we got sort of 3/4 of the way back from the journey, just to make sure we didn't run out, because these old gauges are not the most accurate. And I noticed straight away a big difference. There's probably a lot of old fuel in there as well. But I have to say, it's sitting a lot happier now since we put that new fuel in. I think once we've done to give it a service, it will be absolutely tip-top. I'm amazed how well this drives, really, because an old car, 40-odd years old, you're expecting some mechanical issues, particularly if it's been laid up for a while, things can seize up and that. But it's actually genuinely perfect. It really doesn't need hardly anything doing other than just general maintenance. Gearbox is nice and slick for what it is. I mean, they're never the most refined things by any standards, but it goes in well. Its clutch is nice. I mean, it had a clutch, what 10 years ago, but it's done barely any miles in it. It's not heavy or anything like that. The steering's nice and crisp for what it is. There's no walliness in the way it drives. We've got no knocks or bangs or anything. So I'm really not expecting any big issues on this when we get it up in the air, when we start looking for service items. The only thing that really worries me, potentially, is corrosion, because a car can be made to look nice, but underneath it can hold a multitude of sins. So we're gonna have to check that out. And I think that's the best thing for us to do now, because like I said, this thing drives sweet. I'm not worried about any of that. I just need to put my mind at rest that we have not bought a lemon, because I paid a lot of money for this car, and I have got some good plans for it, potentially 2 ideas, which I'll talk more about in a minute, but I don't really want to start planning that far ahead until I know that this car is sound underneath. So let's get it on the ramp and check it over and make sure we haven't bought an absolute kipper. Right, she's up in the air. Let's get underneath it and see what it's like. I'm nervous. Oh my word. It is absolutely immaculate. For a car of this age, I was expecting to see patches of welding in places, wouldn't be out of the ordinary. I wasn't expecting to be a rot box, if I'm honest with you, because it was so straight on the body, but you just never know. But it's really solid. I mean, like, all original, floor never been touched. Still got bits of wax oil on it everywhere. Look at that, that's the sign there. That's the boot floor. We saw the outside of the boot, sorry, the inside of the boot floor when we left it up before. How solid that is. It's lovely. All in the corners there, it's all nice and solid and straight. They're not binding, the wheels. No, they're alright. It's really good. I mean, it's had a little bit of paint in places, but it's been done well. I mean, like, again, you can see a little bit of overspray there and stuff, but, you know, the match is actually really good on it, and, you know, it's convincing. When you get a car up in the air, that's when you can really spot where paint's been done, because obviously when you paint it, you can see, when it's up in the air, you can see the sort of like the orangey peel effect more, and I can see it now more, but in fairness, when it's on the ground, it looks well. It's a proper paint job. I'm impressed with this. I mean, this is 40-odd years old, and it's really solid. A little bit of grabbing them front brakes. It's had hoses on it. A little bit of an oil leak, but it's what it is, isn't it? It's an old car, we'll fix that. It is just really, really solid. So I can't find any plating, welding, anywhere on the car, at all. It's all original, it's solid as a rock. What a relief that is. Well, I'll tell you what an absolute relief that is, because I was a little bit nervous over the last few days since we picked this Fiesta up, because, like I said, you just don't know when you're buying a classic car. You know, obviously they're older vehicles, lots of people have been underneath them trying to do maintenance. You just never know what people are going to do to an old car when they can cock them up and do all sorts to them, even if they do look very well on the top. But luckily, she's solid as a rock. I can't find any corrosion really underneath to talk about. Certainly not like it's been welded either. It does look a proper genuine thing. In fact, it is a proper genuine thing. So I'm so relieved. And in hindsight, actually looking back at it from the auction we went to the other day, and if you haven't checked the video out, you'll find it in the end screen, well worth a look. I'm not just saying it because I now own this car. I actually think, particularly under the 10 grand market, and there wasn't a great deal there under 10 grand that day, this was definitely one of the best cars that was on sale. I say there was XR2s in there, there was all sorts of other cars. I say we looked at a Civic Jordan, there was a Toyota Starlet there as well. Really rough cars and did strong money compared to a little old honest Fiesta like that, which is as solid as the day it was new. And as we know at the moment, the Fords seem to be incurring the old Ford tax at the moment, as it's known in the auction world. Basically, they are going up in value constantly. You go back a few years ago, something like that, and I'm talking about a sort of bog standard 11L or something similar, they're probably only doing half the money what we've just paid for that one. Same with the Sierras, the Sierra XR4s. I mean, obviously the Cosworths have been doing silly money for years, but a decent Sierra can cost you 10, 15 grand for an out-the-box XR4. Certainly was not the case before COVID. Which brings me on really to about what to do with this Fiesta. Now I know a few people will be shouting now or commenting on the screen saying, make a great raffle prize. And do you know what? It would. But we've already got a raffle running at the moment. I don't know when the next raffle is going to be. And I actually have got potentially another car already lined up, which I'm thinking of raffling off. So I don't know, plus, to be honest with you, I'm quite smitten with that car. Really smitten with it. It's such an honest thing. They don't come up that often. I am really tempted to basically just finish the maintenance off on it, which I'm going to do anyway, put that steering wheel on, get it all serviced, fix the brakes on it, get rid of the grabbiness and service it all up, get rid of the oil leaks, make it out the box, and then just basically just cover it up. Just keep it, put it to one side and just bring it out now and then, just give it a run, blow the cobwebs off and just sit on it. It's like an investment, to be honest with you. If you kept that as is and in 5 years' time roll it out again, that potentially could be worth twice as much as what we paid for it. Now, you ain't getting that by putting your money in the old Bradford and Bingley, are you? So anyway, you're probably going to see this car floating around for the next few weeks or maybe a month or two anyway, because I'm going to be doing a bit of work to it. And if I change of mind, decide to sell it or do something with it, I will of course let you guys know. But for now, I'm just going to love it and enjoy it. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Do appreciate it. If you want to get involved in getting your own classic car, well, get involved in our Car UK raffle, the spring raffle, where you can win the Nissan MICRA K10 for just £1, £1. And not only you win the MICRA, a classic car in itself, you'll also get £1,000 in cash to boot. Plus, if you're not interested in a car and would like a motorcycle, we're in luck because I've got a SUZUKI BANDIT 600S you can have. We're also £1,000 in the hand as well. And if you don't want either of those two prizes, there's a £2,000 alternative. And you'll be helping out charity on the back of it. So make sure you check that out in the link description. If you haven't done so already, also please like and subscribe to the Car UK channel to make sure you get my latest content as it lands. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. The old pussy magnet.